Hi everybody, I'm Marco Robinson, #1 best-selling author, winner of the People's Choice Best Real Estate Investment Company in 2015, award-winning entrepreneur, winner of the Best Restaurants by Tattlers in 2015, and many other things. Now, I'm not saying all this to show off to you. I'm saying this because I want you to know who's speaking to you, but also, am I qualified to talk about the subject I'm talking about today? Now, the subject today is very clear because I've written it down to remind me what it is. Successful real estate property investment, which, if you do it properly, will enable you to fire your boss quicker than you can probably imagine. Now, the reason that I love this subject is because it's made me quite a wealthy person. And the reason it's made me wealthy is because I've learned how to do it. And I've learned how to do it with the right strategy, the right mentor, and of course, the right partners. Now, a lot of you watching this video will be probably overwhelmed and probably intimidated by the thought that, can you possibly be a successful property investor? Because it's not something you learn in school, it's not something that people teach you on a daily basis, it's not something you can go to college to learn. It's something like the stock market, like the internet marketing, that really is quite a mystery to most people. But the real thing is, the truth is, guys, that this can change your life completely and turn it around. So now, the question really I need you to ask yourself is this. Do you really love what you do as your job right now? Do you get up in the morning and think, you know what? I would absolutely love to get in the office and spend more hours there and spend more time with my boss and do more projects for the company and all these kind of things. Now, I know the answer to this question before I even ask it because I do a lot of seminars all over the world, and I ask that. It's one of the first questions I pretty much ask everybody. And really, only 1 out of 1,000 people ever tell me they really, truly love what they do. Now, the interesting thing about this is if you think about that, it means that 1 in 100, 1 in 1,000 even, there's only 1 that really loves what they do. The rest of the people actually don't like what they do. So what that means is that you are doing something in your life where you're just doing it to pay the bills. You're not doing it to live a life. And the great news about property investment is it can give you a life. Now, the reason it can give you a life, and the reason it's different to stock trading, the reason it's different to internet marketing is because once you buy a property, and you buy the right property in the right area, and you have a great tenant, you get that income every single month without doing a thing. All you had to do was just make one decision to invest in that property, and that one decision enabled you to create an income stream that basically lasts the rest of your life and longer. So this truly is, and I'm going to write this down so you can see on this screen right now what that means. What that means is, truly, that you are creating passive income. And passive income means that you get paid anyway, whether you work, you don't work, whether you go on holiday, whether you get married, whether you get married 5 times, 10 times, whether you leave the planet, it doesn't matter, right? You get paid. So what really scares people about property is a few things. Number 1, they have to pay a massive deposit to buy a house. And that's interesting because most people only buy 1 house in their lifetime because they have to save up for the deposit out of their salaries because the salaries are not enough to get a big deposit quickly. Number 2, people think they can't borrow the money from the bank because since the many financial crises that's happened in the world, the banks are tightening up the lending criteria. Also, people think, well, you know, what if the tenant leaves and I can't manage the property and it's all very complicated. Well, those are actually myths created by really a mindset that's been conditioned by conventional education. And your education system that you were basically raised with has told you that you must work hard, get good grades, and if you do that, you do really well, then you get a great job. Maybe even you'll be promoted, maybe even you'll be the boss of the company one day. Now, that's a great thing, but the problem is, it's not a reality, guys. Now, here's the reality. I am 47 years old. At 16 years old, I left school as a school dropout with no academic qualifications at all. You don't think I've struggled? Guys, I have struggled like crazy. You know, my mum left my dad when I was 2 years old. He was a gambler. So she couldn't live with him because he spent all the money, so she didn't have any money to look after anything or even live herself. So as a child, all I remember is moving from town to town every 6 months. Sometimes we slept in the park because there wasn't enough money to live on. And I remember that very clearly as a child, and that really changed the way I thought about the future of my life, because I was able to live in really inside my imagination and think about the things that really I wanted to do when I grew up. And one of the things I didn't want to do was be in that situation. So I've struggled immensely with my life. I've not succeeded in school. I've not been to university or college. I've got no education like that. And in the past, well, less than 1 year, in this year, I have purchased 96 properties, generating £4 million, about $6 million US in profit in less than 1 year. And I've created over $100,000 in rental income. Now, if I can do that as a school dropout with no qualifications, just imagine what you can do. So what I'm telling you right now, guys, is that anyone can do what I'm sharing with you right now. Now, the great news is those 96 properties that I purchased, believe it or not, I was able to raise the deposits through not using my own money. I was able to buy most of those properties by borrowing the money and rolling the profit into the next property that I purchased. Now, the reason I'm sharing this video with you is very simply, I'm going to be inviting you to a live webinar that I'm going to be doing to a very exclusive audience, which will be 1 hour long, of how you can replace your salary with passive income so you have enough money to fire your boss because you don't need a salary anymore. And finally, you'll be able to live life on your terms. Now, this webinar is life-changing, guys, because I've taught thousands and thousands of people around the world how to do exactly what I'm talking about right now. And what I'm talking about right now is financial freedom. And financial freedom means that you can do the stuff that you want to do because you don't need to go to an office anymore. Now, I'm going to make a distinction again for why I love property as a way to create wealth. I love property because it gives you an income that you don't have to do anything for. You know, if you think about stock trading, for example, if you go on the stock market and if you want to make money on the stock market, what you have to do is you have to be analyzing stock. You have to analyze companies. You have to analyze charts. You have to analyze economic updates. There are so many things you have to do on a daily basis that if you're not careful, you could lose all the money you put in the first place. So stock trading is not passive income. Yes, you can make more money, but it's not passive. So I'm not against stock trading. In fact, I do that as well because that's something I like to do now and again. But the great thing is I'm already financially free. So for me, if I lose on the stock market a little bit, it doesn't matter because I get paid anyway because I've got so many properties paying me an income every single month. Now, I love the internet. I love internet marketing. However, it's not something I would love to do all of the time because to be a successful internet marketer, believe it or not, that's not passive income, guys. You have to write copy. You have to get people to do it for you. You have to drive traffic to your website. You have to create content all the time. It's not passive. The beautiful thing about property is every investment you make, you get paid an income again and again and again. Now, I own over 200 properties that give me a monthly income like that every single month. I'm asking you, would you like to be in a situation where you're getting that kind of income? Now, you don't have to worry. Don't think that, oh my God, I'll never be able to buy 200 properties. That's basically a limiting belief. But why don't you think about buying 2, 3, or even 4 properties? First-time buyer homes is what I focus on that are less than $100,000 each, and you can borrow the money to do that. But of course, what you need to understand with property and what you need to really clarify is that you have to minimize your risk. So when you invest money, you know you're going to get a return. And in this webinar, I'm going to show you how to minimize risk. And I'm going to show you how you can borrow a lot of the money to go into an investment where you don't have to use your own capital that you've saved so hard for in the first place. I'm also going to share with you some tools. Now, these tools that I'm going to share with you are actually award-winning tools because, as I shared earlier in this video, I just recently won the People's Choice, in fact, even better, the People's Choice Best Real Estate Investment Company in 2015. The people voted for me because I found the best properties that gave the best income and gave the best return and I gave the best service. Now, I'm not here to sell you property. That's not my objective. I'm here because really this is just a hobby. I don't have to do this. I just love to do it. You know, I don't have to speak in front of a camera. I don't have to write all this stuff on the board. I can just be in the Caribbean. I can be in Moscow. I can be in Australia, which I frequently am because I travel all over the world all of the time and do the stuff I love to do. But you know, I only do now what I love to do. And part of this is actually, you know, I love educating people to actually follow in my footsteps. Some people even do better than what I do. I have thousands of students all over the world. And, you know, one of my favorite things is being able to inspire one person to fire the boss and create financial freedom for themselves, because that one person can inspire their family and friends, and it's viral, guys, and it's an amazing thing. Because once someone creates freedom for themselves, their life changes immensely. Things that you didn't think possible come into your life as though they're a normal thing. And, you know, I do repeat to you, I'm a school dropout, complete failure in education, yet in the last 10 months, I have purchased 96 properties, guys, making me millions and millions of dollars. So if I can do that, so can you. And please, please register for this webinar, because I'd love you to be there. And of course, when you get to this webinar, we're going to send you some amazing content. But I'm going to be speaking on that webinar live, and I'm going to be speaking about how to start investing, how to borrow the money, what tools you need to use to start investing, and of course, how to succeed, how to use those tools, and how to find the best properties around that give you a consistent income without having to worry about the tenant. So this is Marco Robinson sharing with you how to be successful in real estate and property investment, how to fire your boss, and how to create passive income. And really, this, my friends, is the magic of life, because once you can master this subject, you can do what the hell you want. Doesn't matter, because you've got the income to do it. And isn't it the case where if you've got the income guaranteed, you don't need a salary anymore because you've got the income coming in anyway? Isn't that the ideal lifestyle that you really want? Because that's the lifestyle that I've had now for quite a number of years. So register for this webinar right now. It's 1 hour long. It's absolutely power-packed with fantastic content. It's free. You don't have to pay for it. And it's amazing what you can learn, because after that webinar, you can actually start investing and start creating income streams. In fact, you could be financially free within 12 months or even less from watching this webinar. The content is so powerful. And remember, the content is award-winning content, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much.